Join the 28-hour SQL Server Masterclass on the Udemy platform for only $15 instead of $89. Learn how to become a future developer or either a future DBA or performance expert on SQL Server with 150 exercises. Average rating for this course is 4.5. Okay? The link to the promotion is in the video description. Okay? Want to get started on SQL Server? Then join me. Ranking in the real world. In the real world, we are going to have a question. They will tell me, Olivier, I want on the table a top 4 from project ID. Okay, and then it continues with the next 4 and so on. Okay, so I want this 4 was with the 707. Okay, and continue on the next row. So we will first of all see how things are going at the top 10 level. So let's run the query with the projects 707. So the top 10 does not meet our expectation too much. Okay, we see that that this does not solve our problem. It takes the top 10 or whatever value you choose, but it won't continue, which is normal. So what we are going to do first, we are going to start with the row number that will number each row of the project ID column. Okay, so we do a partitioning on the project ID column. Okay, for 707, 1, 2, and so on. Okay, and for the value 708, we start again from 1. So the row number is not bad. We start numbering the rows. We're going to do, why not to try, sorry, a CTE, and the CTE will solve our problem. So we are, what we are going to do, we are going to cut this request. Okay, we are to do a select inside the CTE, and then a feint. We are going to do a CTE and take the row number on the alias. That's here from order. And we tell it to return values that are less or equal to 4. Okay? And we see that by magic it works very well. We see the power of the working function and the CT. D'accord? Okay, we see that we start from 707 and we move to 708. So in this example, we see that we can solve our problem easily without a very complicated request. So we can call an alias in a city. We will see another example. I have a table where I have to classify many sellers. I am going to divide into 3 sections: bad seller, improving seller, and best seller. Okay, so I will do a select for to explain you a select from the sum total due. And in fact, we will add a new column. It will be necessary to classify the total of sales in 3 thirds. 1/3 for bad seller, 1 for progressing seller, and 1 for the best seller in the another columns. What are therefore going to do a city and a entile with the order by. Okay, so let's go for the city with the name sales, from sales, and with the entile function partition. So what does it give? We see that the entile cut well into buckets. Okay, it cut the table into 3 parts, 2 and 3, sorry, and 4. Okay, so I cut requests into 3 pieces. So I go on to do 2 city, and we will see from the second one I'm going to do a choose. Okay, where I put the values bad seller, major sellers, or bad sellers, sellers on the rise, and best seller. Okay, so I do 2 city sales, and inside the first city I had a second city with the entile. Okay, so 2 city sales and buckets. And at the end of the query, I'll make a choose on the buckets city. So let's run this fantastic query. There is a mistake. And you can see that my table has been well divided according to the 3 types of salesmen: bad seller, sellers on the rise, and best seller. Okay, we can write it another way, which is a bit easier visually. I can do a choose. Okay, where I put an entile the over of the 3 men. So you can put an entile into the choose and put the 3 sellers. Okay, and what does the select give? And we see that it's the same result. So we see that it's not extremely difficult to create an SQL query to have a rendering that is difficult to interpret. Okay, so think of using this function to make your life easier. Okay, so let's go to the next demonstration.